fire, fire for fire, fire. I was wrong about Oblivion Remastered. Okay, what were you so wrong about?
Todd Howard has done it again. Instead of re-releasing Skyrim for the 8th time, he went back to Oblivion and said,
Let's go!
I like that one. Let's do that again.
These are the closing days of the third era. And the final hours of my life.
This guy looked so bad in the original. My biggest gripe with this entire, game so far is the ugly, the ugly brownish filter. That's the only gripe I really have. There's also, what is it called? A mod that removes it.
Oh! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my fucking god!
Yes! I'm home! I'm alive! This is all a miracle! I'm awake! I'm wide awake!
The
So
Oblivion
beautiful.
Remaster just came out. I put about 10 hours into it, and this is as close to perfection as a remaster can be. I've never been more happy to say I was wrong about something.
That's good.
A few days ago, I recorded a video
I like
titled,
that.
Why Oblivion Can't Be Remade. And in it, I was going to talk about how it's just not possible to recreate this same type of magic in a remaster or a remake.
I can't speak to you right now.
He's dead!
I don't know how you would do that, but all I know is that it's just not possible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's more than just possible. It is reality. So I thought it would be interesting to go through what I say prior to the Oblivion Remaster coming out and see just what I was smoking only 4 days ago. New fentanyl just dropped, bro. It's lethal. Just to avoid confusion, I'll put
What did they do to my boy, though? Some of the remasters did not hit the same. With the characters,
picture of the
this guy
adoring
got
fan
butchered,
up
I
on
think.
the old commentary I recorded where I was wrong. I'm just gonna come out and say it, folks. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion can't be remade. You cannot capture lightning in a bottle twice. If you win the lottery, you're not winning it again. And before you push your glasses up the brim of your nose and say, Actaman,
Actually,
you can remake Oblivion because that's what they're doing. You can... Yes, I know this game literally can be remade, but I don't think it's possible to recapture everything that made Oblivion what it was. And what it was is one of the funniest video games ever made.
Yes, we must kill that foul lord before he slits our throats.
I hope that he talks about the voice actors and how they were so stretched thin that they included some of the fricked up voice lines in the remaster.
So many people dead. I just don't know who to trust.
I could sit here for the next 3 hours just playing clip after clip
Was that
of
Joel?
hilarious,
I love that guy.
unfiltered Oblivion moments that just happen naturally.
I hate my life.
Oblivion's goofy ass AI is capable of cooking up the most unintentionally comedic genius moments you've ever seen.
Stop! You
In the name
violated
of
the
the
law.
law.
Then pay with your blood.
Pay with your blood. What? Stop! You have violated the law.
I have literally spent days of my life watching the AI in this game and clips on YouTube like a scientist observing a newly discovered species. And yes, I haven't felt the touch of a woman in years, but I don't need to.
That's fair.
That's gay. You can't
True!
remake Oblivion in the same way that not even Tommy Wiseau could recreate the magic of the room.
It's ironic, but it also is meta ironic, and that's what's great about Oblivion.
Look at how wrong I am. This statement aged like pure milk. You can't recreate the magic of the room? Well, that's exactly what Bethesda and Virtuous have done.
Break the law on my watch, will you? I'll be confiscating
The fucking
I had
horse,
honestly
bro!
thought with everything Bethesda had been going through the last decade, between Starfield being a disappointment, Fallout 76 being a disaster, not hearing or seeing anything new about Elder Scrolls 6 for 6 years, I'll be honest, I thought
That's
Bethesda was
crime,
kind of
bro.
cooked. But imagine my surprise when I'm not even out of the tutorial and I'm encountering some classic Oblivion jank.
I accept your surrender. I
I yield.
accept your surrender.
What do you mean you accept?
I'll let you live this time.
Did you hear the fucking... You never know what the fuck is gonna happen in the crazy world of Oblivion. This video is sponsored by Once Human. This popular PC title has just dropped on the mobile devices. And with over 125,000 reviews, Once Human has earned its mostly positive reception. A free-to-play open-world experience set in a grotesque post-apocalyptic world. Enjoy PvE or PvP combat as you explore the world for treasure, weapon blueprints, and of course, better gear. Improve not only your skills, but your equipment so you can tackle tougher and tougher bosses. And just look at these production values. The world of Once Human is gorgeous and stunning. The game might be free to play, but I'd pay for these views. And sorry to the whales, but you can't pay to win, because any and all purchases are cosmetic only. Once Human has this revolutionary concept of playing the game to get stronger and better at it. If you enjoy this sort of Lovecraftian aesthetic and open world survival games, then Once Human is the game for you. Download and play it for free using the link in the description. And if you do, I'll hook you up with some exclusive rewards to get your journey started. Thank you, Once Human, for sponsoring this video.
And now for something completely different.
You see, movies like The Room or Samurai Cop, games like Smash Bros. Melee, Halo 2, and Oblivion are created in part by what I like to call happy accidents. Imagine if a new FPS title tried to recreate the BXR and button combos from Halo 2. You just can't. It'd be a cheap imitation. It's not possible. Even if Nintendo wanted to, and make no mistake, they fucking don't, it'd be impossible
yeah, Melee
for them
HD
to make
sucked,
a new Smash
man.
Brothers.
Nobody, so for the record, nobody plays the new Melee. Nobody does. They all play the old one.
With the same
Through some sort of janky, like, little third-party system as well. Nintendo doesn't even allow it. That's the only way they can play.
movement, wave dashing, exploits, and movement tech of Melee. Happy
Yeah, Project
accidents
Slippy,
are
that was it.
what
Yeah,
they
Slippy.
are. And attempting to recreate them is impossible because they were accidents. Such is Oblivion. It's remarkable how wrong one man can be. What they've managed to do.
Sorry, I don't mean the new Melee. I meant like the successors after Melee because it's just not as good. It doesn't feel good.
Remaster is so bizarre that I didn't even really consider that they could pull it off. It's branded as a remaster because it's running on the same engine. The one with the hilarious Radiant AI.
That's
What's
good.
the news from the other parts of Tamriel?
Take care.
Take care.
Greetings to you.
And
And again, the jank has its charm because that's what you expected back in the day. If you released a game like this, I don't know. I don't know if people would like it as much. I genuinely think it's like he said with the lightning in the bottle. If you tried to recreate it with another game, people would think it's stupid. It's because it's Oblivion jank.
I don't even fully understand how this
The
works.
nostalgia,
but
man.
Oblivion Remaster is also running on like Unreal Engine 5, but just for the visuals.
It looks good.
Graphics and texture models. Programmers in chat, how the fuck does that work? How can two engines run a single game at the same time? This is the perfect way to handle the Oblivion Remaster.
I have no idea.
Because they get the best of both worlds. They can
It's not game-breaking bugs, it's funny bugs? That's not true. He literally just showed at the start where he had to reload the game. It broke his game. Right here. Where is it? Where he's like fist fighting and he's got green hands. Yeah, it broke the game, but people don't mind that much, I guess.
modernize the visuals while keeping the gameplay and the NPC behavior mostly the same.
Because what I don't understand from well, I guess I do, because in Fallout 76, there were so many bugs that you could make a 3 to 4 hour compilation of game-breaking bugs that would consistently break your game. This isn't, like, consistent. It's random, and it's kind of, like, part of the charm. You can't really predict it.
I think when it comes to a remaster, we want people to feel the way they did then. But it's still a game.
Yeah, and it was persistent too, that's true.
You want to keep those bones in place. You want some of that old charm.
Uh-huh.
We're here to help.
We're here to help! Oh, his name is Grey Fox!
Farewell, citizen.
We've seen remakes and remasters take a few too many creative liberties, and that's a really hard balance to strike when you're trying to please an existing fan base, but also modernize an old classic so it can appeal to newer, younger generations. But judging from the leaked screenshots, it seems...
Yeah, remove the sepia filter and you're, like, actually... You're cooking with this. Yeah. They did such a good job, holy...
Oblivion Remastered is going to be on a totally new engine. And as any computer programmer will tell you in the comments down below, well, it's incredibly easy to simply copy a game from one engine and paste it into another engine. That's how it works, right? The engine in my 95 Honda Civic could power pretty much any Bugatti or Ferrari. One has to ask the question, if you're remaking Oblivion, how do you recapture that same level of comedy? Is it even possible? Do you even attempt to? If it's on a completely different engine, then how the fuck does that work? You would have to retool everything and reprogram the jank. So, like, in a literal sense...
So did they use the old engine, and then they just used UE5 on top of it, obviously, to, like, you know, make the graphics? Yeah, so I guess it wasn't that bad, or that difficult.
On a brand new engine, Oblivion...
I would chalk this up to Actman having a lack of knowledge. I don't have that kind of knowledge. Yeah, old physics painted with the Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, because that's the graphics.
Can't be remade.
The
this,
makeup,
I feel, is still a true statement. Oblivion could not have been remade on a new engine, and that's why they didn't. I honestly didn't expect Bethesda and Virtuous to have such a deep understanding of why Oblivion is so great. But they must have been asking these questions behind the scenes when they were developing it. But the solution they came up with is perfect. It's easier to create a fucking monstrosity than it is to make a character that looks somewhat normal. And how would that even work? If they're making a new Oblivion, you wouldn't want the character creator to look like fucking dog shit, right? But that's also...
No, but you also want to keep the, you know, the ugliness of the game. I tried making a relatively, like, decent looking character, and it still looked kind of janky. Yeah. What was this up here? How the fuck is that possible anyway? Engine on top of an engine? I don't know. I'm not like I'm not a coding person.
So part of the charm. How are you gonna recreate this character creator? Like this?
Oh my god. He looks like the pot of greed.
Jesus. The new character creator is yet another example of something I didn't expect them to pull off. Here, do you want to see my face?
Oh my...
No, you don't.
Oh my gosh.
He's...
Look, he's always smiling.
It's a face a mother should have swallowed.
Let me read this. I think remaking games is kind of stupid. They lose some charm to make them playable on new consoles, but don't remake them. I completely disagree. Oblivion was an ancient game on an ancient engine already, and people back in the day, or already back in like 2007 and 8, were already put off by the graphics. They thought that the graphics weren't, like, you know, good enough, or they weren't, like, into it because it looked too janky. It was already outdated by, like, 2012, which isn't a very long time, from, like, 2007 to 2012. Yeah, like, I disagree. I think there's gonna be a lot of people who weren't even born in 2007 that will play this new game and be enjoying it because it doesn't look so off-putting to them. And that's totally valid, by the way. I don't think you have to play on really outdated graphics to be like, you can't play this game because it looks like too new. It's like, okay, but it's the same essence though.
It is an improvement over the original because not only can you create the horrific monstrosities that we all know and love.
It's fucking JD Vance, bro. You can't escape him, man.
You can actually create characters that look like real humans. In Oblivion, this fucking cat.
I wonder if anybody's done Garfield.
Like look at the teeth, but the detail is so good. But then you also have like look at Mehrunes Dagon. Holy shit. Bethesda was on such a different plane of existence that they included bad takes of dialogue in the final game.
I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University, the Imperial Legion compound, and the temple all on the same night. Wait a minute, let me do that one again. I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University.
They thought of everything because
that's great. We saw that clip months before this remaster was announced, by the way, and I busted out laughing.
The lines are so in the remaster.
Wait a minute, let me do that one again. I heard that thieves broke into the Arcane University.
They know, bro, they know. Now here's another point. Remakes are extremely popular these days. What with Dead Space, Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil 4, they got fucking Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Remakes are hotter than Sabrina Carpenter right now. And you have to approach this from the business perspective, right? Most gamers who have already played Oblivion would want to play a remake that makes Oblivion feel brand new. I don't know if you've played an Elder Scrolls game or a Bethesda title, but most fans tend to put like hundreds of hours into that shit. And once you do that, like you've seen everything the game has to offer.
And then you start modding the shit out of it.
So some slight graphical update, like what Oblivion fan is really gonna give a shit? Yet another thing I was incorrect about, and this is why it's so important that they made genuine improvements to the combat. Whereas in the original, you would just kind of slice at people and they wouldn't really react all that often. But now they have new jank where you hit someone and they... And although it's like funny and cartoony, it makes your weapons feel like they have real impact. They've also changed a lot of the attack combinations. Like I just discovered there's like a 3-hit attack with this sword. This not only allows old players like myself to feel like the game is fresh and new, but it feels like a new Elder Scrolls for people who haven't played Oblivion. And they also redid pretty much every animation. So the game feels different, but also familiar. It plays like a brand new title, but also something really old and outdated. Nostalgia alone is not going to sell people on a game that they've never played.
You're right. Absolutely. I totally agree. However, it will reintroduce new people with the graphics update. It did though. It absolutely did. But I also think it introduced a lot of people that would have never played Oblivion. Because there's so much jank to the old Oblivion. Also, getting it to run was also pretty much a pain in the ass as well.
And how bad do those Gen Z kids have it, though? These poor bastards didn't grow up with a real childhood. They didn't grow up with Oblivion. And now they can. Now they can grow up with Oblivion. That's the thing, regardless of my nostalgia for Oblivion, it's pretty obvious that people nowadays probably aren't going to be as interested in playing a game, you know, where the characters look like their faces have been burned. Like they've never put on sunscreen in their life and they just live outside homeless.
So sad.
Oblivion has the type of video game jank that is somehow entirely predictable, but totally chaotic at the same time.
I also hope that this encourages new game developers to take a risk like making an Oblivion. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, you have to make it just like Oblivion, right? Make your own Oblivion and put love into it, even if it's janky and it comes out janky.
Some of the funniest Oblivion clips you'll see online come from people who understand how the AI works and therefore how to exploit it.
Are you confused?
This is the type of shit I'm talking about when I say you can't remake Oblivion. At least not in the way that it was.
Yes, I am.
You can't deliver on this type of unintentional comedy. It's so Jover for me. I've never.
Yeah, because those people say it's a bad game. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? Literally game of the year for like forever. It's quite literally what set off Bethesda's popularity. Without Oblivion, there would be no Skyrim because they were like, oh shit, we can make a good game even if we're under pressure and our voice actors are overworked and we accidentally put in voice actor dubs. Because the game has so many voice acting lines that they must have just not checked and made a mistake. And people loved it.
Never been more wrong. People are literally remaking viral clips. Like Bacon.
Your money or your life.
And also Elder Murr. If you love this type of Oblivion sense of humor, check these guys out and make sure you subscribe to them. Not to mention, how the fuck are they gonna handle the voice acting, right? If this is a remake, you know, voice actors aren't something you can just easily replace. And it turns out they didn't replace voice actors. They added a few new ones.
Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit.
One of my favorite comments on an Oblivion video is, it was a bold decision for Bethesda to hire exactly 3 voice actors for this game.
Oh, hello. How are you today? I've been better. How about you? I've been better.
I don't know, that's funny to me. It's hilarious.
So far, they've only replaced the voices for some of the, kind of like throwaway NPCs, but they haven't replaced like Wes Johnson's performance of the Gray Fox or Lucien LeChance, or obviously Sheo Gorath. Every aspect of this remake is just the best of both worlds.
And by the way, Sean Bean was fucking one of the fucking main characters. That's so cool, man. When I found out, I was like, what?
Things to change, but I also don't want things to change at all. Yeah, somehow they delivered on that. Incredibly unreasonable expectation of mine. Yeah, see, my big worry was that they would redo the voice acting, which would kill a lot of the enjoyment.
But it's only a matter of time before they're overwhelmed. Run when you can!
And they haven't. They've simply added on and diversified what was already there. Good. Now, one thing that really separated Oblivion from a lot of other RPGs at the time was this thing called Radiant AI. Bethesda abandoned the Radiant AI when they made Skyrim. That's because what the Radiant AI did has been iterated and improved upon countless times in other games since Oblivion came out. So naturally, it just seems outdated as fuck by today's comparisons. I don't care what you say. I don't care how much you think Oblivion has aged poorly. Radiant AI has been one of the most revolutionary innovations in the entire RPG genre.
Yeah, didn't they like make it possible in Oblivion? That's the whole reason that it was like sold as a very interesting game. Because they hadn't really done it before.
The idea that NPCs will have their own internal schedule tied to the game's clock, the day and night cycle.
Yeah,
I can
Fallout
think of one game that had a day and night cycle before Oblivion, and that's fucking Warcraft 3, a game where it barely mattered at all. But to design...
Buddy, are you shitting me?
Or Oblivion.
No, it did actually matter a lot. What do you mean? Is he trolling? Obvious sarcasm? I hope so. I'm gonna fucking punch him in the shoulder. A lot of stuff coping. I'm gonna get tilted.
Warcraft 3, a game where it barely mattered at all. But to design every single NPC in every city with this day and night cycle, create quests around it.
I'm mad. I love Warcraft 3, I'm sorry.
Talking to people at random. That really made the world feel alive. And rather than trying to remake all of that, I think it's the right call to just like I said, keep the same.
He's not saying Warcraft 3 didn't matter. He's saying Radiant AI and it didn't matter. Yeah, it did. It did. The day-night cycle really does matter in Warcraft 3. I don't know. We could clarify this. I don't care. I just thought it was funny. I thought he said that it doesn't matter, but it actually does.
And keep, you know, if it ain't broke, don't
fix it. It's huge in Warcraft. We're getting off into the weeds. It doesn't matter.
I hate books.
The Oblivion Remaster / remake is essentially a fresh
I hate streaming.
classic muscle car. You know, that car's never gonna go out of style. I really didn't expect them to return to the Radiant AI. I honestly thought they would create some brand new, inferior system of NPCs such that it wouldn't feel as alive as it used to. So, with a brand new engine, and if they're trying to appeal to a younger, more modern audience, which most remakes try to do, then I see no world in which Oblivion can truly be remade. I'm happy to live in that world. I can't tell you how impressed I really am by this remaster. And I am so happy that I have never been more wrong about something in my entire life. That's the most impressive thing about the remaster, is I honestly expected to have way more criticisms and complaints about super specific niche things that like me and only 6 other people care about, but they've nailed every detail. And the most important thing the Oblivion Remaster has done is make you feel like you played it brand new, the same way you did 19 years ago. That was the goal, that was the vision of Todd Howard and his team, and they delivered on it.
Yeah, Diablo 2 also, when they remastered it, felt like that. Warcraft 3, not so much. They really gutted that game, so I'm glad that Oblivion didn't get that treatment.
Todd Howard, you have done it again. You have managed to sell more versions of your games than actual games themselves. I could not be happier with the Oblivion Remaster. I'm going to be streaming it soon. What are your thoughts and opinions on the Oblivion Remaster? And tell me what questline you're excited to play first. Gotta save the Dark Brotherhood, man. That shit's too good. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. And don't forget to download and play Once Human today for free. All right, everyone. That's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out. Peace.
07. Go check out Act Man.
You have the hands of a healer. Stop!
Stop! You have violated the law! Blah, 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 blah. Guys, go check him out. Mr. Act Man. Even though what he said about Warcraft 3 was criminal, I'm just saying. As a Warcraft 3 nerd, I do not accept that. Oh, perfect, we got ads too! Woo! They're doing it Fallout 3? No, it's not a rumor, that got leaked! They're redoing Fallout 3! That's huge. I know Fallout 3 has a lot of people that hate it, and they always say it's like not that good actually, but for me that's, from a purely nostalgic standpoint, I love Fallout 3. And I can also acknowledge the criticisms and the downfalls of the game. Fallout 3 was great, what the fuck? A lot of people hate it and they say that it's dog shit, but I liked it because I was a kid and that's all I could play. Because my brother had a hand-me-down computer and my parents' laptop didn't like actually run games. So the only thing I could play was like Fallout and a little bit of WoW. I don't know, a lot of people hate it and I think it's valid, but I'm just saying I don't think that it was that bad. I thought it was really fun. Also the side quests were amazing. Like the really janky ones. Like the main story is like whatever, like let's be realistic. The Fallout 3 story sucked, but then the DLCs made it so much better. Like when you get to the end game and you can finally play the DLC, I think that's when it really kicks in. Yeah, like Operation Anchorage or whatever it's called. Yeah, the Mothership Zeta. Oh, yeah.